South Africa is one of the most geographically varied countries on the African continent. The country ranges from rolling fertile plains to the open savanna, to the Kalahari Desert, and to the peaks of the Drakensberg Mountains. It's home to some of the world's most renowned wildlife reserves, and the country contains many more smaller regional parks and reserves. In addition, it has an excellent road system and rail system, top-rated accommodations, and a bountiful farmland and vineyards. There are about 54 million people living in South Africa as of 2015, and back in 1960, there were 17.4 million people. South Africa is projected to have a population of 64 million by 2050. Currently, about 1 in 4 children in South Africa face hunger issues. However, South Africa has one of the highest rates of public investments in education in the world. Education is required for all South Africans from the ages of 7 to 15, but only 42% of that population has graduated high school or gone on to higher education. Currently, about 26% of the country's population lives on less than $27 per month.
South Africa has a wide array of plant and animal species, including abundant marine life, exotic vegetation, and over 200 species of mammals. The agricultural sector of South Africa is comprised of large commercial growers and smaller subsistence-based farmers. These farmers have limited access to machinery and must do most of their work by hand. The livestock industry is the largest sector of farming in South Africa. The dairy industry alone employs approximately 60,000 people. Beef, poultry, sheep, and goats are also produced extensively in South Africa. Livestock production provides the vast majority of animal products consumed in South Africa. Very little is imported. However, mohair and wool are exported to countries all around the world. South Africa exports a wide variety of crops, including citrus, maize, vegetables, and deciduous fruits. South Africa also produces many crops for domestic use, such as cotton and tea leaves. A large amount of agricultural land is dedicated to wine production. The citrus industry is a major economic contributor in South Africa. In fact, South Africa is ranked third in the world for amount of citrus exported.
The agricultural success of South Africa is promoted by the land resources available to producers. South Africa has both young and old soils, indicating active soil geology and high nutrient levels. There are over 73 different soil forms in South Africa alone, ranging from highly organic soils to very aged mineral soils. There's also high clay soils which can be utilized for agricultural purposes in times of drought. Mining accounts for 18% of the total gross domestic product of South Africa. Miners in South Africa are primarily seeking diamonds, gold, copper, and chrome. Coal mines are also big contributors. South Africa converts mined coal into crude oil, which accounts for 37% of liquid fuel used in this country.
South Africa is rapidly industrializing and is predicted to double its energy demand by 2030. This poses a problem as the country is still dependent on coal for 77% of its energy and is the 14th highest producer of greenhouse gases worldwide. In response to this problem, the government has a plan in action to have 42% renewable energy by 2030. South Africa has one nuclear power plant that provides 6.5% of the country's energy. Current government policy aims to increase the role of nuclear power to diversify the country's energy resources. South Africa is rapidly evolving its energy production to meet the demands of the developing country and to become more ecologically sustainable.
South Africa is well known for the high quality of its deciduous fruit and citrus, over half of which is exported. The volume of these agricultural exports has increased dramatically over the past 20 years, generating foreign exchange and profits for local farmers. In recent years, there has been an increase in the amount of money spent towards products such as fruits and vegetables as the GDP rises. The citrus industry has a long-standing reputation of being handed over from generation to generation. In fact, existing citrus orchards are commonly family-owned businesses and are sources of sustenance in various communities. The political aspect of the citrus industry is very strong. South Africa has held long-standing political and economic clout in the southern hemisphere alone. South Africa is responsible for about 60% of citrus market shares. Additionally, various programs such as Outspan, the Citrus Growers Association, and Citrus Research International have been implemented for the research, marketing, and exporting of citrus fruits. South Africa's infrastructure can be described as being defined by its transportation, energy, irrigation, and telecommunication factors, which affect farmers of different socio-economical backgrounds. The ability for South Africa to thrive in its agricultural sector is based on its infrastructure's foundation. According to Forbes, a large part of a country's inability to feed itself and stimulate rural entrepreneurship can be explained by poor infrastructure. The reality is, a large portion of rural South Africa does not contain efficient road networks. This negatively impacts South Africans as farmers are not able to expand their food products beyond their farm. In essence, they are not receiving a proper return on investment for what they grow.
South Africa is Africa's largest economy. It is very diverse, dependent on no one sector, and has the advantage of abundant natural resources. South Africa saw unprecedented sustained growth for 62 quarters until the crisis in 2008. Even with the crisis, South Africa's political stability, well-capitalized banking systems, and extensive regulatory systems allowed the country to weather the crisis better than most. Therefore, in 2012, the World Economic Forum was quoted as having high confidence in South Africa's markets. South Africa does still have its share of problems. Chief among them is an unemployment rate of 25% and pollution. Because of this, the government policy is prioritizing these issues, and there are plans to create 5 million new jobs and lower greenhouse gas emissions by 34% by 2020.
South Africa is trying their best to move towards a more sustainable country in many different ways. One of the many ways they are is by becoming a leader in green energy. They have made advancements in solar and wind energy for a more sustainable energy source. South Africa is investing in a green future by creating 300,000 jobs in the renewable energy sector over the next 10 years. These jobs are improving agriculture, manufacturing, and research and development jobs to help protect ecosystems and biodiversity by reducing energy, materials, and water consumption through high-efficiency strategies, by decarbonizing the economy, and to minimize or altogether avoid generation of all forms of waste and pollution.